Welcome back. My name is Dr. Carl Baird, and today I'll be showing you some of the best exercises for arthritis in your lower back. So before we get started, let's just be clear that the type of arthritis that we'll be discussing is also called osteoarthritis. So there are a lot of different types of arthritis. This is for osteoarthritis, which is caused by wear and tear on your spinal joints. Another way of saying that is just too much impact has gone through the joints and discs and other structures of your spine over too long a period of time, and this is what causes arthritis and degeneration, which is the cause of pain and stiffness in your lower back. So what we want to do with these exercises is not only find a few to help with the pain relief, but how do we limit the wear and tear on your spine to prevent this arthritis from coming back? So that's what we'll be focusing on today. Let's go ahead and get started with the first exercise. So the first two exercises that I'll be showing you today are designed to help with lower back pain, stiffness, and arthritis. Because again, for people with osteoarthritis in the lower back, that's usually the main concern, is just how do I get rid of this stiffness and arthritis? These two exercises are going to help a lot. So first one is just going to be the cat-cow. So to perform, we're going to be on our hands and knees. Hands right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. To perform the cat position, we're going to let the head hang, and we're going to tuck our pelvis inward while we arch our back. And you can press through the hands, really stretch out that mid-back. And then from there, we're going to do the opposite, the cow. So I'm going to lift my head up, rock my pelvis back, and let my stomach hang like I got some udders. I think that's why it's called the cow, I'd assume. And then we're just going to work our way back and forth through this movement. So again, we want this to be pain-free movement. So just stop the minute you feel any sort of pain and go the other direction. And what you should find is the more you kind of warm up, the better this is going to feel. Nice work. So that is the cat-cow. The next exercise that's really going to help with pain and stiffness from arthritis is the windshield wiper. So to perform, what we're going to do is lay on our back with our feet on the mat. We're going to have our feet slightly wider than our hips, and then all we're going to do is let our knees fall to one direction. So I'm going to start to the right and back to the left. So on this one, it's okay if your hip comes off the ground a little bit. What we're going for is just a little bit of gentle rotation through that lower spine. And again, it's that gentle movement that's one of the best things you can do for pain and stiffness anywhere in the body, not just arthritis in your lower back. But that's it. Those are windshield wipers for lower back pain from arthritis. So now we're going to be moving to strength exercises for arthritis in the lower back. Because if you'll remember, arthritis is caused by too much wear and tear on these joints. So what we want to do is build strength around the joints to limit impact that goes through those joints to prevent this arthritis from getting worse. And that is where we're going to find the longer term pain relief. So the first exercise we're going to start with is the glute bridge. We're going to start again on our back, feet flat on the ground, arms just 45 degrees to the side. Then we're going to press through our feet to lift the hips up. And again, we want to feel the work in our glutes and our hamstrings, and back down. Press through the feet again, up. Another thing that we want to accomplish to treat arthritis in the lower back is build a strong core. That's again going to limit the impact that goes through our spinal joints for less overall arthritis. Now we want to pick exercises that are safe, so we're going to start with the dead bug. To perform this, we're just on our back, our hips are flexed to 90, our knees are flexed to 90. I like to bring my toes up just to create a little tension in those lower legs, and then I'll have my arms straight up. Now the easiest progression of this is just to go to one limb at a time. So you can start by just tapping your heel down, back up, and switch sides. If you're feeling strong, confident in that movement, then what we're going to do is do opposite arm, opposite leg. So if I start dropping my right leg, I'm going to drop my left hand. Come back to the start. Same thing, left leg, right arm. And what I'm really focusing on is keeping that strong core, not letting my pelvis roll forward so that I really arch that back. That's going to cause more pain than what we want, which is the opposite effect of what we're having. So as you go through the dead bug, make sure that that core is engaged and that you can really maintain that position through this dynamic movement. Nice work. For our next exercise, we're going to stick with core strengthening with the side plank. This is going to strengthen important spinal stabilizers located on the side of our abdomen. To perform, we're going to go on our side with our elbow right under our shoulder. I'm going to show you the knee plank just because it is the safest variation, and usually it's challenging enough for clients that I work with. We're going to have our knees stacked, and then all we're going to do is bring our hips up off the ground. So at this top position, I want my trunk to be in a nice straight line, so I don't want any flexion at the hips here. And I want my shoulders to be nice and stacked, so I don't want to be rounded forward here. The goal is to hold this for 45 seconds if you can. If you're not there yet, it's okay. Just stop your timer, take a quick break, and start again and come up. Make sure you do both sides. Another great exercise to challenge your core and build strength in your spinal erectors or erectors on the back to treat arthritis in the spine is the bird dog. So to perform this one, we're going to be on our hands and our knees. And just like the dead bug, you can start with one leg at a time. So if I'm starting with just my legs, I'm going to reach my hip leg back towards the back wall. Again, I like to pull my toe up to create tension in the leg. I do want to feel tension in my glute right here. So I don't want just a kind of floppy leg back here. I do really want to reach, create tension in the glutes, and then you can bring it back down and do the same on the other side. Once you feel comfortable there, then we'll add opposite arm, opposite leg, just like the dead bug. So what that looks like, I'm going to reach one leg back, and I'm going to reach my arm in front of me. So what we want to keep in mind is I'm reaching for length. So I'm reaching for the back wall and the front wall. I'm not reaching up towards the ceiling. That's going to cause extension in the spine and make your arthritis pain a little bit worse. We're going to hold for 10 seconds and then just switch sides. Now I got right leg back, left arm reaching. If you want, you can squeeze your fist, pull that toe up. That creates tension along the whole body, which again helps limit impact on your joints to help prevent your arthritis from getting worse. So there you have it. That is the bird dog. Another one of my favorite exercises for arthritis in the lower back is the banded hip hinge. What I love about this exercise is not only does it help build strength in your hamstrings and your glutes, which is one of the most important things you can do for arthritis in your back and your knees, but it also teaches you how to move in a way that limits impact through your spine. So it's good just as you're moving throughout your day to understand how to perform this movement. So what I'm going to use is a little red resistance band here. I'm going to step right in the middle, holding on to the band so it's right on the outside of my thighs. From there, all I'm going to do is reach my hips towards the back wall, stopping when I feel tension in my hamstrings. Now I could go lower, but what happens is I start rounding my back. That means more impact at the spine, which means more arthritis. So it's really important that you stop the minute you feel that tension in the hamstrings. So what it looks like, reaching those hips back, keeping my spine in that nice neutral position, stopping when I feel tension in the hamstrings, and coming back up. The kettlebell deadlift is another one of my favorite exercises for arthritis in the spine, But it can be a difficult movement to perform if you don't have any experience with it. And the last thing we want to do is to put more impact on your spine to potentially aggravate that lower back. So what I'm going to show you today is called the elevated kettlebell deadlift. It's a slightly easier variation that still targets the glutes and hamstrings and teaches an important movement pattern to help limit impact on your spine as you move throughout the day. So to perform, you're just going to need a kettlebell or a dumbbell on an elevated surface. So I just use 2 yoga blocks, but anything to get that kettlebell up. And then all we're going to do, same with the banded hip hinge. It's going to be a hinge backward just until I can get to the weight. I keep my spine in a nice neutral position. And then from there, press through my feet to stand back up. And setting down, you got to be just as careful. I'm going to reach my hips back, keeping that neutral spine to set the weight back down on the blocks and repeat. So it's similar to that banded hip hinge, only this time, instead of holding onto a band, I'm reaching and pulling a weight up from the ground. The squat is another very important exercise for arthritis in the lower back. It does a few things, including improving hip mobility, which is going to help limit impact that goes through your spine, building strength in your glutes and your hamstrings. And again, it's another one of those important movement patterns to limit impact in your spine as you move throughout your day. Now, if you're like a lot of the clients I work with, you might be nervous to just get started right into the squat. So let me show you a few safer variations, and then you can work your way up. So, easiest variation is called a sit to stand. So all you're going to need is a box or a chair, and from there, I'm going to press through my feet to come to a standing position and sit back down. If that feels good, you feel confident in that movement, the next progression is the box squat. Similar idea, but we're going to be in the standing position. And then I'm going to reach my hips back, and I just want to tap the chair and press up. But it's nice to have that box behind you, so if you need to bail, you can just bail onto the chair. If you're feeling comfortable with the box squat, then you can get rid of the box altogether and just do that traditional air squat. So what that looks like is, again, I'm unlocking at the hips, sending the hips down, and pressing up. So there you have it. That's the air squat. And finally, I'll show you one of my favorite exercises, not only for arthritis in the spine, but really joint pain and arthritis anywhere in the body. The exercise is called the farmer's carry, and all we're going to need to perform are 2 heavier dumbbells if you have access to them. So I'm going to hold each dumbbell, one in each hand. I'm going to do a slight grip on the weight. That's going to create tension up my arms. I'm going to roll my shoulders back so I got a nice, strong position before I just start walking forward. So again, I won't walk too close to the camera and go out of focus, but really all you need to pay attention to is as you're walking, you don't want to be letting the weight pull you back and forth. You want a nice, strong, upright position and slowly walk back and forth. So there you have it. That is the farmer's carry. So there you have it. That is 10 of the best strength training exercises for osteoarthritis of your spine. So a few things to keep in mind is that osteoarthritis anywhere in the body is caused by too much wear and tear, too much impact on your joints over too long a period of time. So if we want to solve this arthritis, we really have to focus on how to limit that impact, not only in our strength training routine, but as we move throughout the day. And the third and most important thing is the best way to limit impact on your body is to build strength and improve movement. And so that's what I really wanted to help you learn with these exercises. So go ahead and give these exercises a try. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Hey guys, it's Dr. Carl Baird here, and I wanted to thank you for watching our previous video and supporting our channel. Now, if you're somebody who's looking to build strength, to solve joint pain, keep active, and maintain your lifestyle as you get older, be sure to subscribe to our channel to watch all of our new videos. You won't find it anywhere else.